Hello YouTube, welcome to Sunday in the shop. It's early and I don't know what time of the week. You see how I had that bent around there? I can't do it one-handed. You see what I mean? And then we decided how wide we want it on the stove, which is approximately 2 inches. It's going to probably be 2 1/4. I'll show you why. So you kind of get that in your mind, right? And then this is what you have to do, okay? It's an 1.5 inch pipe. We want an 1/8 inch clearance. We've also we make these for my other stove. Little potbelly stove. So we want the 1/8 inch clearance. You see where I shaded this where this will be cut off? Okay. And then all you have to do is go from the center, okay? And that's where your line starts. I just continue in line just for the heck of it. So this line comes out and goes out here to, it's actually going to be 2 1/4 instead of 2. So here's your line for your piece of metal, okay? Now this line is to show me to cut the top this short because I want this to stick out 1/8 of an inch, so when it goes in the back of the stove, it goes in the hole that I make. I think I had a picture of the pot, but it gives you something to spot weld to, and it helps kind of hold it in there flat and straight. Now remember, if you're going on a curved stove, you got to figure out the whole curve thing. I'm sure you will if you attempted to do this. Okay, we're going to cut this all out with the scissors, and then we'll show you what it looks like stuck up against the box. Okay, there's our pipe, there's our clearance, because we'll have a 1/16 of an inch piece of metal inside of here, okay? That gives you even a 1/16 of an inch more. I think you know what I mean. And see this? I'll stick this up there. That makes this a 1/4 inch. 1/8 and an 1/8. And we'll stick this up on here, okay? Send it in the shop, we can take more time. Find the center. Back off. See? And that'll stick to the hole, the metal will. So the hole will be cut bigger than what you think. It comes 2 1/4, so 2 1/2. That's probably 1/16 inch metal. You got a little plate, and then you can spot weld it on the inside. See, you can do all this and weld in before you weld the top on. That's going to be the trick. I would like to weld the bottom on last because it'll be messy. So that's probably how I'll do it. But I'll still be able to reach down in there and spot weld that so it's stuck there. If I can get this where I want it. Like that. This will give me my 6-inch stove and give me more room. Mr. Rusty Glove Box, that was his idea. Because yeah, with 7 you have more room for the top. Well, like I told him, how about 6 and we'll put the pipe off the back. Because you are taking a lot of room robbing it. See, and I have 6-inch pan. Skillet. So, instead of that, you're going to be like this. See, we're kind of cramped in there, I think you see what I mean. I decided to go with a whole prototype of a cardboard box on this. To see what I thought. Let me put it up here on a better area so you get a little more lighting. Okay, there you go. And the pipe is about, from the top, about 6 1/2 inches. I'll probably have a 6-inch pipe. So you get the idea now? We got our full top that we're, and I think the stoves burn better like that. Instead of it going through the stove and trying to go up the pipe like this, it seems to stop the wind from trying to blow down the pipe. Because the fire goes up this way, then goes up. I think it has an advantage. Does anybody remember my big pot-bellied stove with the 17-inch top made out of the blue air compressor tank? I mean, it's in my stove favorites. Turn this around. Yeah, I think it really does help. Ain't that pretty how that burned? Got a burn test video on this. You'll probably be seeing it before Sunday's up. Where I did get it up 350 degrees. It was 45 degrees out with the wind was blowing 30 miles an hour and blew over my cardboard windshield. It was terrible. So if I got that thing to get 350 degrees out there in the wind and cold like that, I'm sure it'd be plenty hot enough in the summertime if you took it hiking. Want to make you a cup of hot tea. Okay, let's go find something else to do. I don't know what it's going to be, but it'll be something. Okay, can you see what we're doing now? We're using our little strap bending tool. We're bending it around till it gets to here, right? So we're going to have to go a little further. And if we have to, we're going to slice the inside of this about halfway through and pry this out to get our angle. See that? Because we're not going to heat up the map gas torch in here today. We just don't feel like monkeying with that. It can get pretty hot in here. You start that torch up in this little area. Here, let's move this back so you get a better view. There. And here's our tool if you'd never seen the video on it. I had to switch this around. It was kind of catching. That's an old socket. It needs to be perfected. It needs to be ground smoother. We don't want to really put a washer or nothing. It needs a little work, but it comes apart so you can change the roller size. I got this off YouTube. I said there's a little too much clearance back here where that's cut out, but that does not matter. It's a real easy to figure it out though. You're just zigzagging. You cut here, you cut over an inch, then you cut here. Then you got to make your notch here so this opens and goes just like that. Okay, that's past 90 degrees. So there's a video on it. If you really can't find it, let me know. I always said, let me know. I'll give you a link. Metal bending jig, whatever. No, I'll help you. If you can't find it, let me know. Don't be shy. Say, hey, I can't find it. Give me a link to it. Maybe I'll put a link to it in the description of this video. I'll try to do that. I know I say that and I don't do it. See that little corner I ground out for clearance back in here? See that? Okay, break time. We're going to go put all this footage so far in the computer, take a break, and then we'll be back out here. Okay, it's the next day we're making this little part. See where I slotted that metal over there to make it? It is close enough. We do not want this opening this tall. We're adding to it though. So where you see that cardboard, that's about a 1-inch opening. And this is what I said, what, about a 2 1/4 inch? We want just a little more for the fire to slope up and get in there. And I think this stove's going to have a damper on it. We're trying to make the exhaust, is what I would call it, come out as big and fast as we can, because we want to put a lot of air intake on this stove. We haven't designed it yet, but we've got some ideas. So we'll get a piece in there. We got a scrap piece back there. It's a little too thick. That's like 3/32. This is 3/32, the new 3/4 inch wide strap. This is some scrap metal which I filled in a hole. Kind of embarrassing, but you don't see it, and it's really nasty down in there. We may grind it out, but I don't think it's going to affect the exhaust flow. So this weld inside, so the top's going to have to be welded on the outside. So we'll probably weld the corners. We'll probably do like we did before. We'll grind like a little hole in a slot there and weld it. And when you do that with the metal beads, you can always go back to your cutter blade and cut a little groove so it looks a little better. We had it cranked up pretty good welding this stuff. I think we was on B. Yeah, we was on A. We was on B of the welder. Lincoln 140 HD. So A is for real thin metal. This piece right here on this right there, that's kind of plated with an old radio bracket. That, if you're welding it to each other, you probably want to use A. So that gives you an idea. I've got this figured out pretty good. B is always like something that's a little over 1/16. That's 3/32. So there we go. We're going to cut this out. We're going to get a piece of metal fit to this. It is very cold outside. It's only going to be 20 degrees all day. We can spot weld inside the shop. We just hate to do it for fire reasons. That's going to be a pretty big hole with that ramping up in there. You know, that's going to be a pretty good flow. And we lost we're lying to you all the time. There it is. Here's our top with our hole. Hang in there, it's Sunday in the shop. I don't have to get so nervous and hurry. Here's our top with our hole. Remember all our clearances and all that? I mean, you could do this. Just study what I've done and do your best. My metal bender really worked good, but I had to really bend this in. This was bending in like this to try to get this tight circle. That's why I cut and slotted that and spread it out. Sure, there's a dimple there and you can see it, but it's about the same on both sides, so it looks like it was in the design. Something running outside sounds like there's a semi truck warming up next door to me. I don't know what it is. Anyway, back to work. We're going to take our time. We're still warming it up in here. We've only been out here for about a half hour, but it's pretty comfortable. My feet are a little chilly, but it's at least 65 degrees in here no matter what day it's been. There, we rambled on enough. But, oh well, we got to fill in our time here because it's a Sunday, but it would take a little longer. Save your cardboard. Can you guess what that is? What was that box? Look at it. If you start with a C, I'm getting paid to show any products. Okay, we'll be back. Look at how much stuff that filter's collected, and I had to stop doing emergency repair. I was burning a hole in it. We're going to take one of our last pieces and fix that before we use it. That's not counting all the stuff I pick up on here with a magnet. Okay, design change. That's only 1 inch wide. Way too big before. We took our cutter disc like this, and we went around this to shape it. We have to fill in that little, well, we spot welded the hole. Then we're going to take our sanding drum and clean it up. Disregard the ugly spot welds inside. It's inside where you won't see it. The smoke comes up. So your smoke will come up there and flow in there. I decided on 1 inch. There we go. And that's taking the cutter disc like this too. We started, this was a new 1.5 inches. So what's it down to? A little less than 1.25 inches. So we wanted to see how long one of these will last. We put a brand new on. We started cutting every single part out to do this. So we're getting our money's worth out of them cutter discs. Ones we showed you in a video a while back. Okay, let's clean this up the rest of the way. Then we'll come back, and hopefully when we come back we got a new filter on the box up there. And I have made a video on that, which got that 120 volt computer fan in it. So we'll be back. Okay, that was bad. We got our filter changed. This is some drawstring bag I got something in one time. I'm assuming it's cotton or some kind of linen. You can almost double it. You can't hear it, but I can tell that it changes the fan a little bit, but we'll try it and see what it does. We just don't want to pull a lot of that metal dust through our fan. They're kind of shielded the way the blade's on them, but we don't want the fan to go on us because we've had it for a lot of years. But let's flop it down here. Let's get rid of this icky thing. Then we'll move this out of the way. We'll flop this down here so you can see the fan. So we have a video on this. I bet that's a roar on the microphone, huh? Oh, it was like the most powerful one they had when I bought it. Okay, break time. Okay, we decided to double that and put another piece on here. Watch when I turn it on. It still flows pretty good. We're going to go with that. Double protection. I'm going to show you my cutter disc. I think we're about done with this video for this week. We'll get out our cutter disc, show you how much we used. Okay, that's how much we used. These are 1.5 inches, so let's all guess. About a ½ inch. We did a lot of cutting. Plus, we got that habit. You shouldn't. Don't do that. Don't do as I do. See what that wears? You shouldn't really do that. Do that at your own risk. That thing can shatter. Use it like that, like a sanding disc. And leave one more shot of this before we go. We'll fill that in. I mean, you'd never see it, but we want our stuff to look nice when we look at it too. So that'll be all filled in when we're done. The hard part's going to be making a hole in the top, because we do not want to use our hole saws. They are not accurate at all. I'll do that pie cut thing. You know, you have a circle and you pie cut out, then you chop it off and grind it. You've probably done that on metal. People had to make a hole in something. So there you go. Thanks for watching this week. We're going to put the stuff in the computer, go have some lunch. It's almost 2 o'clock. We've been there since 10 this morning. So we've had 4 hours out here so far on today. And it's only like 20 degrees outside. It's nasty out. So we won't be in the house too long. We don't leave our heaters run at all or nothing when we go in the house. We shut it all down for safety. So we had enough. We're out of here. We're gone.